Terence Bud Crawford. That boy Bud, virtually unrecognizable as he bulks up for a potential Canelo Alvarez fight. Payday, you want payday? I know that. A brand new video has leaked online. I am getting ready to play it in the next 30 seconds. Stay tuned to the end of this video. I will give you guys my thoughts. Terence Crawford is currently in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as he is there to support his friend and his little bro, Shakur Stevenson. I want to show you this clip of Terence Crawford. Madrimov almost couldn't believe his eyes because he just fought Crawford last year in August, and seeing that Crawford has put on some size, he kind of looked at him, sized him up, and like, man, okay, you done put some weight on. You done got your weight up.
Like a motherfucker. He's like, oh my God.
Watch right again. He looking at him. He like, okay. Look at him. He looking at him like, okay. You didn't fill it out a little bit. Okay. And then Crawford touches him. You know, he laughs and laughs, and he shakes, I guess, Madrimov's team's hand. And then when the camera pans, you get a better view of Crawford at his current form. Bam, you see? There go Bud. That boy Bud. And he's just chopping it up with a former foe. Now, this is one thing I do love about the sport of boxing is a gentleman's sport where two guys, they're sworn to pugilism and Mortal Kombat, and then you see this. Like, I mean, sometimes it doesn't always work like that where the people will stay beefing and funking forever, but it's good to see Terence Crawford with his last opponent who definitely gave him a tough fight and just showing love. They're both in the same, place now. Madrimov is fighting against Virgil Ortiz, but Bud, he leaked his weight. I don't know if it was his true weight or whatever, but you can see he's starting to fill out. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. And Madrimov even noticed it. You could tell by Madrimov, his facial expression. He's clearly sizing him up like, okay, you getting ready for that Canelo work, huh? Yeah. And then that's when Crawford touches him. And when you fight somebody, especially in boxing, not like a street fight, but in an actual fight, you really get to know things about them, right? Or even guys who spar, right? You get to know things about them. So he already had to size them up when they actually fought. He's already been face to face. And then Crawford just looked bigger now because he's trying to do the unthinkable, move up in weight to fight Payday Canelo Alvarez. For me, I told you, I've already maintained the same thing. My opinion hasn't changed. Weight classes exist for a reason, so I'm not as sold as some people on the fight. But, hey, if Crawford got the fight, he got the fight. I'll watch it as a boxing reporter and give my thoughts on how it plays out. Crawford's American, I'm American, so I'll root for him to do well. And I've always enjoyed watching Crawford fights. But he is filling out as he gets ready for this potential fight with Canelo. Canelo himself has a fight in May against William Skull in Saudi Arabia. So I don't know if Crawford plans to go out for that fight, but that's the location of that fight as well. Jaime Munguia on the card in a rematch versus Sudase, where Munguia was upset last year and knocked out by an unknown Frenchman, and he has to try to avenge that. Munguia is also with Eddie Reynoso in Canelo's gym. So interesting times. For me, I told you, I'm not big on the weight class hopping. And it's funny because the Bud Buddies, they get mad when I speak on it. I can only be me. I can only give my thoughts on my channel. Anybody who doesn't like it, so sorry. Don't watch my videos. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm only going to be real and truthful with myself and keep it pure. I've gotten this far in the game by that same tried and true method. So why should I change? If you don't like it, you don't agree with it, that is entirely a you problem. I don't like fighters moving up under these circumstances, no tune-ups, no acclamation fights. We don't know you from a can of paint in these newer divisions. Is Crawford a great fighter? Absolutely. Does Crawford have skills? Absolutely. I told you, in my opinion, I think he has more skills overall than Canelo. However, I do understand boxing. And what I've gathered from boxing is you can't make no mistakes when you're up against it in weight-wise. Where a guy has more skill than you, he's better than you. But if you can't make him suffer and make him pay and hurt him, and this guy can hurt you, he don't have to be perfect because he's bigger and stronger and he's acclimated to that division. So that's what I see from this Crawford-Canelo fight. Again, you have a lot of people on both sides. They're at each other's throats. Let's get back to boxing where you could just have an opinion. You know, you don't have to hate one guy and all this other goofy stuff that some of y'all be talking about. I have an opinion. I state my opinion on my channel. Take it for what it is. There's no horse in the race. If Crawford knocks out Canelo, bravo. You just cemented your legacy and Canelo got knocked out. Good. If Canelo knocks out Crawford, bravo. I'm going to say the same thing. Cool. You beat a guy who's coming up 2-3 weight classes. And it's funny when I say these things, people get mad, like, hey, man, I'm just not really with the weight class flexing. Now, Madrimov had that reaction, like, okay, sized him up, looked at him. But Madrimov also did an interview recently, and he says it's a good fight with Crawford and Canelo, but he has to favor Canelo Alvarez because of the strength. So he's been in the ring with Crawford for 12 rounds, and he just sized him up after, but he's already shared the ring with Crawford. And the pro boxers who sparred with Crawford and Canelo and the people who have experience at least with one of the fighters or just experience in boxing, most of them are saying what I'm saying, that this is a tall order for Crawford. And when fighters choose to dare to be great or do the unthinkable, then don't be surprised when people are skeptical, right? If David Blaine has a magic trick and he says, I'm going to stay in this block of ice for 2 months straight and not eat or drink or sleep, then, you know, people are going to be skeptical if he can do it. So that's why you tune in and watch. If he can do it or not, you know, that remains to be seen. But you can't be surprised if people don't believe you can do something that literally hasn't been done recently. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but it doesn't make sense. So no more, no less. Crawford does look like he's bulking up. But to me, I don't think you just bulk up and your chin is better. You bulk up. Do you have the same speed? Do you have the same foot movement? What made you a threat and a problem at 135, 140, and 147? These now are questions. These are now questions you have to answer. You want to do it. At first, Crawford was saying he needs a catch weight. He don't think he's going higher than 154. But now he's saying Bill Haney convinced him, and this is what he's pursuing. And it looks like he's talked himself into this position to generate the interest on his platform. So he may get the Canelo fight. Bravo. Enjoy. He does look like he's bulking up and taking it serious. If you listen to the video again with Madrimov, he's like, man, I've been eating. So, again, he has to eat up to the division. Canelo don't have to do much different. For more boxing, subscribe to my channel. I'm the best in the business, not even close.